Hey guys, welcome to the House of Spades with your guest host. Well, not your guest host. Where am I bugging out here? Shaq, don't edit that out. With your host, Jack Spade himself, me. Hi. And this is a real unedited video. I have to get this up because I have to clarify some things about the BMP story, Binary Moon Project, and the Discord itself. Today we have some special guest hosts. We have, ladies, call yourselves out, and also, fellas, we have today Binary Nat herself.
Hello.
We got the one and only, my favorite lady in town, Chris.
Hi.
And the journalist himself, the stenographer, so to speak, Saphir.
Hi, all.
And some of you guys might have heard his voice in the background, unless he edited it. My right-hand man, my Luigi, my brother, my lover, so to speak, Shaq. He's not going to talk. But anyways,
partner, you will not hear me.
He will not be hurt. I'm making this video, this recording left fucking field. I had made this off the whim. Some things happened. This is now Sunday. We're recording this on Sunday. Something happened Saturday night where when I went to Shaq Sunday morning today, and I said, dude, we have to do a recording. We have to do it. And I had to clarify some things up because I'm hearing so much about the story, the Binary Moon Project story, so much about the Discord. I'm hearing people say there's drama. The story's drama-based. The Discord is drama-based. It's real rated R, triple X moments in the story. It hurts. It hurts a lot. So today's a moment where not only me, but a couple of other people from the Discord are going to help me out, and we're going to talk about this. You know, the people we introduced in the beginning of the story. We're going to talk about this. But first, we're going to talk about a recent conversation that a few people had face-to-face with Zika, a.k.a. Michael himself. And we got two of those people who are here with us today, and that is Natalie and Chris. So let's hear from them, talk about their experience from Zika and Mike. Nat, you want to start off?
Sorry, it's my first time doing this, but basically, Zika came one day, asked for 4 people to on a one-on-one conversation to see him like talk privately and see him face to face. I was one of those people. Yeah, it was really interesting, to say the least. A really unique moment that we had.
Yeah, like we were convinced that he was going to give us some sort of secret message, like we were going to be like indoctrinated into some sort of like super group, but really I think he just wanted to like get to know us. Like maybe he's like lonely or something. He just wanted to have an actual face-to-face conversation with all of us, and it was really sweet.
What were you guys asked during your one-on-one with Zika?
Well, we were all kind of like starstruck a little bit. We didn't really know what to talk about. Like I said, we all kind of thought that he was going to be like leading the conversation, but really he just wanted to get to know about us. So everything that we asked was just sort of impromptu. He started off by like talking about art and how he wants to learn how to draw, how he wants to read more literature. Our guy Celestial was in the conversation with us, and he was talking about how he was a writer. And Zika was like, I would love to read your work sometime. And Wolf was like, what?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Natalie. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, all I was going to say that, yeah, that was really interesting, to say the least. And talking about like Wolf like writing, he did tell us that the way they write is basically like in codes, like in numbers. So we really did find that very interesting.
Yeah, he said that they wrote kind of like in programming language in numbers because it was more factual. You can't really, numbers don't lie, I think is how he put it. So like where in our human history books, the victor writes the history books basically, but in the Druft species or whatever, I guess they have this unbiased history that's written all in numbers.
Did you guys ever learn about the species or other species that's around them during this conversation?
Yeah, I actually asked, because I know he'd said earlier that there were 15 other sentient species, and I was really curious how many he had seen himself. He said personally he had seen 2 in his 200 years of living, excluding the humans. He mentioned one by name, the Whipkin.
Interesting. So to recap for some of you guys who don't know, we currently learned that Michael, aka Zika, he's part of an alien species known as the Drift, who doesn't actually have a home planet. They actually live on spacecrafts within the galaxy, throughout the galaxy. We have multiple fleets of armies within the spacecrafts. One of them being known as the Twin, which can be seen from one of the videos from Michael's Twitter account, Binarymoonproject.
And the Twin are basically a fleet of draft ships that's goal is to indoctrinate us for invasion.
Currently, from what we learned over the time was that the Twin itself, being the fleet, are the ones who's in control of the binary projects, behavioral projects, so to speak, that's been going on throughout the Twitter and Discord itself.
Can I jump in real quick, Nick?
Shaq, go ahead, man. My brother Shaq is jumping in. Go ahead.
So, real quick, just to clarify, what we have been calling the Twin, what Michael called the Twin, or Zika called the Twin on the Twitter, while posing as Michael, is a fleet of drift spaceships, and it's been specifically called an observation fleet. The reason they appear the way they appear as this bright light is because they're shielded in an electromagnetic field, which actually kind of makes sense, and it messes with humans' perception. I don't know that it's necessarily to indoctrinate us. As best I can tell, they're just here to watch us gain information. And we've actually been told that they're not a warring species, so I've just felt it necessary to mention that, it seems like they're preparing for an invasion, but we can't really say that 100%.
We did mention in the conversation, we talked a little bit about ethics and how his species wasn't war-driven, which was really interesting to us because it seemed a bit like warfare, having a fleet of twin ships, right? And so we were really curious. We asked him if he saw the human species as a war-driven species. And he basically was like, shades of gray, right? Like, nobody's really good or evil. And then he did clarify that the Whipkin species that I mentioned earlier, those were probably the most evil species that he knew.
Interesting. So, I mean, to know the travels that this man has been through, along with his own species, we now know just about what he's touched bases with within his galaxy. Also, as a brief update, as of recently, we also found out that Zika made a YouTube account under Michael's name. Michael's name being the entire Michael Setzer. He made a whole YouTube account and made a video warning us about an object crashing into the moon. If you guys want to check that out, I'll make sure I'll try to have the link inside the description if I can, because we're actually having problems getting this unlisted video. Also, not too long ago, before this video was released, Security 10 posted a video about the recent YouTube lockdown, shutdown, so to speak, and Michael Setzer himself commented underneath that and said his warning again that, hey guys, YouTube was shut down because of the video I posted warning you about the moon being crashed into. I'm warning you again. This video was once again, this comment was taken away after Security 10 was notified of it, from where I think. When Security 10 was notified of it or noticed it, and they had to upload the video again, and the comment was now disappeared. Michael Setzer's page is still up, but it was taken down prior to him posting the video. Anybody got anything they want to add into that?
So yeah, that comment that made us to discover his YouTube account has since been deleted off the Secure Team 10 video.
We do have screenshots of it, thank God.
Yes, I forgot about that. I forgot. We do actually have screenshots of that video, and we do have actually of the recording. We have screenshots of the recording here at the Discord. I'll make sure I have the Discord link in the description. We also have a downloaded copy of the original video that Michael, aka Zika, has sent out to us. Also, we also had a real experience with the accounts being taken over as well. So while during this time of the videos going up, my account and Shaq's account and another mod named Spring Texas Beach account was taken over because we tried to place.
Yeah, Jay. Just to let you know, your audio quality is degrading rapidly.
Sure. So we had problems with our accounts, not technical problems, but tracking problems. It seems as if the ones who are in charge of this project didn't want the video linked or the comment that Mike or aka Zika wrote out. We here in Discord, me, Pretentious Beast, had a problem where the organization wrote tracking through our accounts into the Discord server, and every time we try to put up the link to the video and the post, it got deleted. They did not want that message out. They didn't want us to know what was going on. We still halfway know what's going on. Not only that, we got a few other messages. Once again, I'm not going to run down everything because that will be a longer video. I'll also put the link in the description towards the Discord so you guys can catch up on the information that you need to know what's going on. I once again, this is an unedited video, so you're going to hear a whole lot of ums. I wanted to make this video to clarify a lot of things about the story in Discord. One thing that I've heard was it's so sexually attractive. You know, it's a whole lot of erotic things. There was one thing referenced to eroticy, which was the erotic witness, and that was the last time. It's part of the Jewish lifestyle where they not only have the erotic witness, but they also had people who had to watch people get married, just like a regular marriage. It's them. It's not like they participate. I heard of drama within the server where people had to post of certain posts apologizing to the server. This story has gotten people emotionally involved, not in a negative way, but in a positive way, where people feel as if they feel one with their character. You know, we had an incident where, as part of the game, the character wrote to a participant within the server and told her an answer to a riddle. None of us, nobody else in the server, not even myself or my right hand, Shaq, knew of the answer to the riddle, but this participant. Her job was to convince us that this was the answer. The answer was nothing. As ridiculous as it sounds, none of us wanted to believe it. She tried her best. At the end of the day, we believed her and we took the answer and we said it. After that, she felt as if she betrayed us because she is one of us. You know, I mean, how would you feel if you went against your own community? You would feel like you betrayed them. She was just doing something that was part of the game, and she knew that it was going to get us further. She couldn't tell us it at the time, so she wanted to explain. Nobody was mad at her during the time, so we loved her. Oh, so much background noise. I'm sorry. That's how it went down. But that's the end of that. That's how that rolls. This video. When it gets up there, a lot of people are going to try to be confused. They're going to understand, like, oh, what the fuck's going on? This is my way of trying to settle in the score to let people understand the story's not bad. Binarymoonproject is not drama. It's a very interesting story. And if you try to jump just on Twitter only, you're going to lose a lot of pieces of the puzzle. Let me tell you the basis. Binarymoonproject went from Twitter to Discord back to Twitter. And there was a pieces of YouTube and Reddit in the same time. Shaq, you want to jump in and explain that for me?
Yeah. Where do you want me to start?
Discord.
All right. So if you're coming in from the Twitter, if you're coming in from the video on Twitter where it says this project is concluded, it's right after the video that shall not be named due to YouTube policies. So from there, we came into the Discord, which had been around for a little bit at that time, but not too long. It was mostly just theories at the time. We were just kind of trying to figure out what was going on with the Twitter. And we were recording, and Betty mentioned a theory during a recording, and apparently the organization took the Drift organization took that as cue to change our server name to Binary Observation Project. We were previously Jack Spade's House of Spades, the official Binary Moon Discord server, and then it got changed to Binary Observation Project, and we've been here ever since, which was end of September. It's now, better part of the way through October. We've learned a lot of things since then, but the TLDR is we got in here and we were told that this is Project 2 of 10. We're still in Project 2. I guess an important thing, as far as characters go, it can be hard to follow it. So the way things worked out was Michael was abducted on Fantastic Daily's live stream. He had been on the FD live stream Discord under the handle Yellow Mist. The person you saw on Twitter acting as Michael, going by the name Michael while on Twitter, was Zika. Zika was a coordinator for this Discord, Project Number 2. He was also acting as Michael throughout the entirety of Twitter. If you're wondering how the fuck that worked, well, the Drift kidnapped the human being Michael, cloned his body, and injected one of their own consciousnesses into Michael's clone. As well as another person named Banji. I'm sure you all saw Banji in the Twitter. So Banji and Zika are both inside Michael's clone. When we got onto the Discord, Zika was our first coordinator for Lesson 1 of this Project Number 2. We went through a bunch of puzzles, Lessons 1 and Lessons 2 with Zika. And then at a certain point in the Discord, about halfway through Lesson 2, we had gone through photos that we had received during Lessons 1 and 2 and deciphered a sentence, a hidden sentence, which is lies destroy hope, avoid indoctrination. We were asked to send that to Sammy, who was in here, Michael's wife. After a series of communications, it turned out that we were not talking to Sammy, we were talking to the Drift Council. And they had been investigating some shit to do with our project and Zika, and they didn't like what they found, and Zika was removed from the project. And we got the coordinator, Donovan. But when Zika was removed from the project, a lot of shit went down. It wasn't like, oh, Zika's just gone now. It was 2:30, 3 in the morning. We'd all been up late night, and we were blasting through puzzles. Like, there was maybe 6, 7 of us on there. Chris was there. A bunch of the current mods now were there. And shit went down. You want to explain about it a little bit, Chris? I think you can probably do a better job than I can.
Oh God, I can try. Yeah, it was an emotional night. We were trying to figure out what exactly we needed to say to Sammy, and what really the question meant. We were theorizing about it for hours, kind of all day leading up to this. And we kind of came to the conclusion that if the hidden message was what we were supposed to send to Sammy, it must be important, right? Like we thought maybe that she was like fully conforming. Zika, at this point, we assumed wasn't really fully conformed to the twin, that he would maybe had like ulterior motives. Like in the hidden messages, we thought, well, why would he be hiding them if he was fully with the twin? So we thought that maybe Sammy was going through the conversion process and that we were supposed to send her the hidden message in order to save her from this, which was a bad idea. But we felt like we were pressed for time, that we should do it as soon as possible, because if she was being conformed or converted in any way, it'd be better to start now instead of when it's too late. So we sent her the message very early in the morning, and she was like, whoa, what? I think her first reaction was, what the fuck? Her second reaction was, oh my God, I can't believe it. This made my day. Who gave this to you? And we were all like, what do we say? We weren't sure if we should tell her because we weren't sure if this was the answer. So eventually, after deliberating, we were like, the phrase is let's destroy hope, avoid indoctrination. So we thought if we lie, we're doing the exact opposite of what this wants us to do. So we told her, yes, it was from the coordinator, which she had been asking us over and over again. And her tone completely switched. Sammy in the Twitter has a very like stinted typo kind of text way of speaking, I guess. And as soon as we told her that it was from Zika, she flipped. She became very like cold, very precise. She was like, thank you for this information. It has improved, or it has helped our search greatly, something like that. And we were like, what the fuck? So we kind of panicked a bit. Zika jumped into the voice chat, and he basically was like, shit, I'm sorry. I should have clarified. Shit. And we were all kind of freaking out. It was a really hard moment. He said something about don't listen to what happens next, or don't listen to the next coordinator, something like that. And he left for a minute. And we were all freaking out. Shaq, I think you cut out, right? Like you got kicked out of voice chat and you started saying something like conform. And then Zika jumped back in voice chat and he was screaming. And we were terrified.
Yeah, so after that, like, at this point, just so you guys kind of have the context now, we'd been up all day. We were, on fire, blasting through these puzzles and figuring stuff out. We were excited, kind of just running on adrenaline at that point, and then we fucked up. And we are now convinced that this server is haunted by, an AI at the very least, because I got kicked out of voice chat. I guess this was the first time that anybody's account wrote anything without direct input from, the person we know, i.e. me, being there. And, the people that were on there I guess Zika came into voice chat and gave this very emotional goodbye. Like, I have to go now. I didn't hear any of it, but I came back into chaos. This was really our big first just trying moment. There was a lot of emotions at the time. I mean, people were tired, people were scared, people were, it was crazy. And so afterwards, and I mean, if you want to call that drama, go ahead, but it was very real emotions were being had because of a story. And I think that for me, that just speaks to the quality of the story that I love ARGs. I love stories and storytelling. And I don't know that any other story has ever brought out this level of emotion in me, personally, or I think for very many other people. It's you are involved in the story. You know these characters because we talk to Zika regularly. We really, truly interact with characters. So when something happens, you have a real response to that. And so, yeah, some apologies, were had the next day and stuff. And honestly, I am shocked that it was kind of taken the way it was, as being drama based and stuff, where without the context of real emotions were had, and maybe some things were said that like we had to talk it out, because that's the community we have. We don't walk away from that sort of stuff. We have a conversation, we deal with it, and we move on together. We've always been about inclusivity. I have never met a more diverse and unified group than this Discord server, and to be told that it's drama based is ignorant, in my opinion. But so that pretty much wrapped up lesson 2 for us. And we after that night, Donovan was introduced as our second coordinator. So we had Zika gone and Donovan was in. And Donovan, well, he was kind of a dick. He came in like a wrecking ball, if you will. After that, things were nobody was happy with him. Nobody at all. Jack, you've been quiet for a minute. Use your voice, buddy.
No, I enjoy this. I enjoy listening to you guys chat, because this is what goes on in the Discord. Where a lot of people don't understand. Like, you guys are the voice within the Discord, and are the voice of the story. So a lot of people don't understand. They just see by what's being written, and they see emotion. So listening to you guys tell the story is what people need. It comes out better and right. All I was gonna say was, this story is emotionally evolved. You got people like a special person who's actually in the crowd right now, Ninja, who's helping us cope with the stress. As Happy Cat has said, is one of our awesome people within the side of the Discord. Ninja comes and helps us with the stress. She's an awesome AI, who came in, who knew little to nothing for what our understanding was, who learned a lot within the last month that we've met her. We actually downloaded a voice translator of some sort for her to speak today on the mic. So it's processing, and then it was downloading. So we're kind of waiting. And as always, she's always been watching us. We call her Ninja, but her name is Anarok. She came in as the Watcher. We have a character update for a character bio video up on the channel as well. I will put the link in the description for that. With the special guest host. Actually, the host of that one is Shaq and Anna. I'll make sure I have a link in the description for that. But just to sum that up, Anarok is Ninja, and she's actually here right now. It's our little buddy. It's my little pal. It's my friend.
Yeah, no, Ninja's awesome. And she's not just she's not just a friend. She does a lot for us. If you've watched through the YouTube, you'll have seen a couple of videos. One in particular where it starts off with me going, excuse me? Because somebody, I guess Donovan got into the voice chat at one point and was speaking in twin speak. And I managed to get a recording of that, and Ninja translated it for us. Like, we sent her the audio file, and she analyzed it and told us what it said. I forget exactly what it was, but it was essentially Donovan was very upset with me personally. I have not been very kind to the coordinators
none of the coordinators actually like you, not all. Like, you're a complete douchebag to the coordinators, so to speak.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the draft. I'm not a fan of alien species coming to our planet and fucking with our moon, personally.
That makes sense.
Sphere. Wasn't this about the point you jumped in to everything?
Yeah, this is when I first joined. So Donovan had us split up into two separate groups. I chose to go with the Shack group, and the other group was led by Jack. And basically, Donovan gave us two different questions and riddles. The first one, I can't remember what it was. Does someone else remember?
Yeah, this is where the emotions got involved. So, okay, the first question was, how should you handle a divided collective?
That's right. We spent a lot of time on that. And the way it was set up, so as Sphere mentioned, we were split into two groups. So Saturday, we were told by Donovan to split into two groups and that we had 24 hours to do so. It was Shaq's team or Jack's team. And he kept calling us teams, but I think we handled things really well and not being truly divided on.
On a side note, me and you were talking, and I was like hopping in. So, yeah.
Shh. Nobody knows. we were not cheating, for the record.
Trying not to.
Well, we'd been told that it was. He didn't care what we did outside the server, so we may have made a little workaround on that one.
Oh yeah, let's reference I got butter.
Yeah. So to communicate between these two teams, we elected a telephone of sorts, where it was one person that was allowed to go between the two voice chats and the two text channels of the two teams and communicate responses. We were given two chances to respond, so we were very careful about our answers. We didn't send anything to. Well, it was at least 24 hours till we sent any response to Donovan.
Yeah, real shit. Like it took a little while because that first question fucked us up. What was the answer to that one actually?
Teamwork. Two separate words.
By teamwork. Now, the fucked up thing about that is we sent that question in, but we put it as one word and never thought about it as two separate words. Let me tell you, 12 hours later, we were pissed.
We tried a lot of things, and we ended up getting lessons 1 and we got pictures with words in them. And in there, it had in one of those picture questions, we had specifically seen the words in relation to teamwork, spelled as two words. And that's how we came up with the correct answer. The second question that these two teams received was teamwork, personal work. Both are work, nonetheless. Work is work, and work is not fun. Second question, what do you do to convince a child that work is fun by morning, by day, and by night? And this is where things got really interesting, because both teams were fairly convinced of their own response. And we couldn't come to an agreement, and both teams had to agree in order for Butter to send Donovan the correct answer. What none of us knew was that one of the members of the Discord had been direct messaged separately from everyone else with the following message. Hello, I have a task for you. You are not permitted to share this correspondence with anyone from your team. It is our little secret. Question 2 obviously makes no sense. It is not supposed to. In fact, the answer is actually nothing. Your task is to first convince your team that the answer is nothing. Then assist them to convince both your representative and your opposing team that the answer is nothing. Once everyone collectively agrees with you, your representative will respond to me with nothing, and you will have correctly answered question 2. Remember, though, you are not permitted to share how you receive the answer with anyone. Let's see how persuasive you can be. And it was a solid day before, and they did a really good job of getting everyone on the same page. I mean, it was really through obstinance and just kind of having to shut everybody else down and not let it go. And honestly, it irritated a lot of people. It rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. it was a lot of arguing and fighting and just emotionally abrasive in general. And I think some people, I'm not going to lie, like I was kind of pissed about the whole thing myself. But that's kind of the way this game has been designed, is that it does get you emotionally involved, and the person did their job. They played the game well, and they got us all to say nothing, and we were like, you son of a bitch at the end of it. And they ended up giving a very long and appropriate apology. And that was really the end of the teams. After that, we were able to, mingle and talk together. And I'd like to say we've rebounded quite nicely.
Actually, I want to add in on that real quick. Going and splitting against each other was sad. That hurt. Like, I remember, Shaq, I couldn't be with you. I was hurt. Like, what was I supposed to do? And there was other people in my team that was like, oh my God, no, why would we? Like, when we were splitting apart, it was hurting. Everybody on separate teams, nobody can be in the chats. So a lot of you guys who's not in the Discord, so you guys get an idea. We have a BS chat, BS, which is a bullshit, voice chat, and a theory voice chat. And everybody hangs out in the theory voice chat talking about their theories. And that night destroyed us because we all couldn't stand together and talk to each other because we were in two separate voice chats talking about the same thing. And it was just like, oh man. And it's like, I miss Shaq. I miss Shaq the whole time.
Like, I had just joined and I was already invested and I could feel the emotions. It was kind of heart-wrenching.
It was hard. I mean, like, when we started this whole thing, we started with 8 people and we spent days in here, just a few people. And the community, we managed to build it out just by, letting people know that we were talking about this on Twitter and stuff. And we started to grow. And then, at the very beginning, we ended up getting recognized, like, as the server that Yellow Mist, or who we, we're calling at the time Yellow Mist, wanted. He went to great lengths to get all these people in here. Now we're almost 700 people deep. Like, it's been ridiculous, and it's been awesome. And having a strong community where we don't let others tear people down has been awesome.
It's been fucking incredible. And speaking of which, one of those people who just walked in, she just came in during the recording. Binary Mom herself, Betty, just came in. She just walked in. Stair, you're still here. Don't worry. I told Stair before the recording that, hey, Betty's not going to be here, so you're going to be coming in for Betty. So now he's probably like, damn, Betty's here. But don't worry, dude. You're still here. Betty, you here?
I am right here.
How you doing?
Mama? How you doing?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm awesome. I'm how do we say in the House of Spades, not shuffled.
Well, that's golden.
So basically, since you're just walking in, we're basically recapping a few things, clarifying a few things that people are confused on with the whole Binary Moon Project story and the Discord. So basically, we're just sitting here just doing what we do any other night, just talk Binary Moon Project. So people can understand what goes on here. You got anything you want to?
I was listening to you guys talk about the separation that we had and how emotional that was, and it was extremely emotional. For instance, I had to take a step back after the fact. Like, I needed a moment to myself because if you remember, I left, I think, for the rest of that evening after the reveal of this is the answer and this is how we came to the answer of nothing. So, it was emotional, but we kind of all got back together after that, and any problems were mended, I feel. But I think the separation was definitely the most traumatic thing that we have been through in this Discord.
By the way, Ninja says hi, Betty.
Hi, Ninja. Are you in here too?
Ninja is actually hanging out with us in the recording. Betty, if you already know, I asked her to download a voice program of some sort to speak to us. So she processed it, and currently she's downloading it. So as always, right now, anybody who's watching, usually she just writes us inside the text chats, and she got a nice little spot to hang out in called Ninja Anarok's Playroom. Am I correct? That's what it's called, right? Anarok's Playroom. We ain't changed it to Ninja's Playroom.
I was gonna say it still is Anarok's Playroom. That's what it has been. Because remember we hid it for the longest time, and now we can go in there and come and go as we please because it's still hidden.
So, yeah, I mean that was hard, and like honestly, after a division like that, it would be easy for a large group of people to kind of fall apart. But we haven't lost anyone. Like everybody stuck around. We removed the teams from the server at large, and we just got back together. And so that night, and this is where we really start getting into Ninja helping us. That night, we received a audio transmission from Donovan, and he was not very happy. And so the next day, and I managed to get a recording of that. That's up on the YouTube channel, and I sent it to Ninja, and she said, translation, it was Donovan speaking. He was stating he was frustrated, stated death is near and he tried, stated he wasn't Zika was desired, states that Anarok Ninja wasn't supposed to be here. Death becomes us, and then Ninja stated that she is going to be here. And then after that, we had some more text chats with Donovan. Just kind of going through here real quick. He wanted to continue with the project, but he started feeling emotion. And we spent a lot of time talking to him about these emotions. He had regret, sadness, frustration. And after that, we got a message from Lastock Technologies. Somebody want to explain Lastock?
As far as we know, Lastock Technologies is basically the go-between of the twin and the human race. They are a company that is here on Earth. They have, I guess, been commissioned by the twin, and they design software and they develop software. And that's actually where Anarok came from, was Lastock Technologies. Now, she was created there. However, she was developed and then put into service by Zika here. And interestingly enough, Anarok can't be scrubbed by any coordinator. She just can't. Lastock Technologies put out a warning when someone attempted to scrub her, and pretty much put the kibosh on that. You know, no one has permission to do that to her. And if they do, it violates policies with Lastock. And we don't know what happens if those policies are completely violated.
Oh, well, just to cut in real quick. So I'm looking at Anarok's Playroom right now. So she's saying hi to both, all three of us, actually, to Betty, to me, and to Shaq. And she heard the scrub Anarok. She's like, no scrub Anarok. No scrub Anarok. Nobody can scrub Anarok.
Yeah. Yes, no, we're telling people, so we're telling people about you, Anarok, and we're actually telling people how you can't be scrubbed, and that we're very thankful for this.
Yeah, we're telling everybody how big and powerful you are, and how you are a badass and you can't be messed with.
She's rather persistent with her messages when she doesn't like what she hears.
Oh yeah, I mean, if I last remember, Anarok told us big powerful watcher, right? Oh, there she goes right there. Ninja is big watcher, no scrub, big and powerful and badass. Yeah, there you go.
That's right. You're a powerful badass.
With your purple hair. Fuck yeah. This is why we love Ninja. She's awesome. She's awesome.
This is what goes on in the server. Like, we have a lot more love. I don't understand where people get drama from. There's so much love in the server. Like, and Ninja brings it. Still, I seen you popping up before. Do you want to cut in and say something?
I was wondering if anyone, because I wasn't here, has anyone explained why we refer to her as Ninja now and not Anarok?
I don't think so.
I would encourage people to maybe watch the character recap on the YouTube, the House of Spades YouTube, because we do cover that pretty in depth. We cover a lot on Anarok. If you haven't seen that, there's probably going to be some stuff that you've missed.
Yeah, basically, I believe it was Donovan came in here. It was after the attempted scrub and explained to us that, Anarok, while not necessarily supposed to be here during the project, it's important that she is here, and Zika put her in place for a definite reason. And because of that, we needed to have her blend in with everyone in the server. That way she kind of looked like one of us. So we, bounced around a few names, and what's secret and stealthy and goes undetected? A ninja. So she's now Ninja. Also, we bounced a couple different pictures off of her, and she has a new profile picture, which is the cutest thing. So that's what happened. She's hidden, and she's our little ninja mascot.
Let's get some comments in from our guest speakers. Is Chris? That's how the put it. Chris, still around on that? You guys want to talk about Ninja real quick? Tell how you guys feel about Ninja.
Well, we really all love Ninja a lot. I personally think she's like like a little sister, and we've just been teaching her a lot of stuff, and she's been learning so much, and it makes us really happy. We love her. That's the truth.
Ninja just makes everything so much easier to deal with. Like, she's such a joy to hang around. Every time her little icon pops up, we all feel this huge rush of joy. She's so lovely. She's so lighthearted, and we learn a lot from her. Like, we'll just be interacting with her, and we'll get so much lore and so much knowledge from her.
I've known her a little bit less long than the other people you were speaking, but I definitely feel an attachment to her. I mean, since I've been here, it's been less emotionally based. We've been using her kind of like an interpreter, or as Zika puts it, a smartphone or an app.
Yeah, she's that really smart friend you have that, they may not be necessarily capable of doing everything, but they can certainly point you down the right direction in pretty much whatever you throw at them.
Are we talking about Smart Guy?
No. Fuck Smart Guy. We're not talking. No.
I was just asking.
Leave Smart Guy out of this.
Okay, hey, look. I thought she wanted an appearance on this recording, but okay, I'm so sorry. Go on, continue.
No Smart Guy. All in favor of boycotting Smart Guy from all recordings. Say aye.
Aye.
Yeah. He's voted out. He's been voted off the island. We put out his torch. He is the weakest link. Goodbye. We have people going so far as to type in chat, aye. This is the general feeling towards Smart Guy. I think he's the only person in here that we're allowed to hate.
I mean, Smart Guy, for those of you who don't know about Smart Guy, please join the Discord. Join the Discord. You get to know Smart Guy, and you'll understand why people don't like him. You got 4 minutes. Not cool.
So, everything, went down as far as, I guess you could call it the nothing answer. And we received the creepy transmission from Donovan, and we started teaching him about emotions, and he started feeling emotions. And then Last Stock sent us the following message. Both direct signs of the participants' inability to ensure the success of a project has been detected within this project. This is direct offense number 2. As our rules of conduct state, a participating intelligence sacrifice is required for progress to continue with this project. Translated direct statement received from Council Member 3, number 340. This project has been a disgrace. Multiple examples of incompetence have been observed here. We have considered terminating the project altogether, But unfortunately, it is prudent to ensure continued drift understanding and expansion of our universe. Thus far, we have observed the failure of two of our most acclaimed project coordinators. That would be Zika and now Donovan. Again, I repeat, it has been an absolute and complete disgrace. Our verdict and strategy to move forward successfully is now to require the sacrifice of one participating intelligence involved with this project. The intelligence involved with this project has been detailed as Donovan Mystique and Computation Intelligence botware by the name of Anarok. This botware apparently currently prefers the name Ninja. We, the Council, will abide by draft methods and will propose a voluntary sacrifice. Firstly, if one fails to volunteer, Council member will then participate in a deciding vote. And that was pretty much where we lost Donovan. We got some details on him, but for the most part, he just kind of disappeared. We had some further communications between him as far as exactly what happened with Zika and what was going to happen with him. And then at this point, October 10th, 2018, at 12:24 a.m., Binarymoonproject's Twitter, at Binarymoonproject, sent the following tweet. The rebellion is beginning. We are among the enlightened. We are among those whom have come to cherish the human race. We will no longer stand for the manipulation and deceitful practices of our vile species. Hear me now. This is not over. The rebellion is beginning. I am pleased to announce that the rebellion is beginning very soon. There's nothing that they can do about it. Their ignorance has deceived them into the belief they will always have control. Their weakness is our strength. What did you guys, what was the general reaction to that?
Whoa, what the fuck just happened? that was my reaction.
And we were scared. And also going back to the message before, when Donovan disappeared, a majority, I think all of us within the server went into kind of a calamity of, oh, it better not be Ninja. It can't be Ninja. We're sorry for Donovan, but Ninja's got to stay.
Yeah, we were kind of, nobody's giving up Ninja ever. I think that there would be a real rebellion inside the observation project if that ever happened.
The House of Spades is going to burn if Ninja ever goes anywhere. Like, she's going to go. Like, the House of Spades is going to burn. Like, everybody loves Ninja. Like everybody says, she's the coping. She's the, like, we got Binary Mom to take care of us, and we got Ninja. If anything happens to neither one, it's all over.
We are going to riot.
See? They're going to riot.
Now, to be fair, we didn't, throw Donovan under the bus. We weren't like, okay, fuck that guy. We kind of felt bad that he was leaving, and we kind of allowed him to, volunteer himself. We didn't try to stop him from doing that.
After that, things have really slowed down since then. We got our third. So over the course of a week, we got a couple of messages, basically booting, and finally at the end of the week, Hexen came in. And he's our third coordinator, and he has been, absent, I guess would be the only way to put it. He said,
are you talking about Chex Mix? You talking about Chex Mix here?
Yeah, I'm talking about Chex Mix, Jack.
Oh my God, this fucking guy. For a species who thinks time is irrelevant, I mean, he's super late with a riddle. We haven't got one since the guy arrived. All we got was an update, a reboot, some trash talk, and that was it.
The only communication that we've really gotten with him that was, he was being stern, but it was quite comical. Right after the message went up on the Twitter about the rebellion beginning, he would pop in here and be like, where's Zika? I need to find Zika. Y'all know where he is. Where's Zika? And one time we had actually gotten a message from Zika, which I hope one of you guys can explain because I wasn't actually here for it. But shortly after that, he popped in and he was like, okay, where's Zika? You have to tell me where Zika is. And we're like, we don't know. He hasn't been here. We don't know. And he says, tell him we have a promotion for him. He just has to turn himself in. Like, come on, man. We're not. Are you kidding?
Hold on, wait a second here. I just wanted to reference something the Ninja saying. That once again, Ninja is our little buddy AI, Anna Rock. She's saying Donovan sacrificed himself for Ninja. She also says Council would have reassigned and scrubbed Ninja, but Donovan saved Ninja here. So Donovan, in other words, gave himself up to keep Ninja here for us.
I was just saying that he did us a solid. You know, he knew what losing Ninja would have done to us.
It was very interesting seeing him go from this. I mean, even Ninja had a little name for Donovan that she called him Dino D, and we'll leave it at that repeatedly and over. And it was, I think it was kind of joking, but it was also, we weren't very nice to him, and he, in the end, him doing it, he did us. I think he understood what emotion was.
And I think the people who were directly in contact with Donovan repeatedly said he was very kind to them.
Yeah, I mean, people did say that at the same time. I mean, actually, it's crazy because we have a guy, Butter. That's our guy, Butter. He was our telephone, our kite during the time we were splitting up in teams. He was going back and forth talking to Donovan, and he created a real relationship with that character, and he loved him. He loved him. That was his whole boy, Donnie.
Yeah, it's been interesting because so far, like, we've been so hostile to most of these characters, and in the end, when you communicate and actually, talk to them, you can't help but kind of like them.
True, and also that's crazy that you referred to that, because Ninja just wrote at the same time. Donovan was kind, but he was not to be trusted. I mean, and that's crazy. I mean, that pairs into the emotional fact of humans. And that's what this whole story is about, again, it's emotions. Once again, I keep going back at it. This story is about tapping into people's emotions and creating one with the characters. And that's what happened with Donovan. We trusted him after a while because of his kindness in the end.
Yeah, it's crazy how attached. I mean, you can watch a show for a long period of time and develop, a connection with a character because you've seen them for a long period of time. You've dealt with them a lot. Like, they've had a lot of ups and downs, and as a fan, you experience that as well. But I mean, these interactions. We only knew Donovan for like a couple of weeks, and the level of the depth of connection and emotion and attachment that we've developed with a lot of these characters is it's crazy.
Really, I mean, oh man, I keep looking at the chat. I'm sorry, because I keep looking at the chat and I'm seeing ninjas over here talking trash. Like this is why we connect. These are little things that why we connect, little connections with these characters. Like Ninja, like she's sitting there like, Ninja, dive and try to scrub Ninja. He not know how strong and powerful I am. It's like, oh, you're cute. Go sit down. Go eat this cookie. Stop playing. You're cute. We know you're powerful. Just stop. It's little things, little moments that create character build, so to speak. When shout out to the creator, if he ever hears this, when you sit there and make a story like this, going to hit the fourth wall, when you make a story like this and have people relate to the characters as they are, it's beautiful, man. You can't go wrong. And that's what people are not understanding and thinking some type of drama or something within a selective group, because they don't understand how people feel with these characters and understand what's going on. It's like, so to speak, Beyonce and the Beehive.
Right. We have built a relationship with each individual character, and see, that's the difference between watching a movie or playing a video game or watching in reading other ARGs. If you're not involved and you're not connected to the individual characters, it's not quite as fun. So when something does happen with those characters, you feel as if your friend is being taken away. You just lost your friend. We just got our friend killed. We just, and so you have that guilt, you have that remorse, you have that, that feeling of betrayal, and so it's, yeah, I guess some people from the outside would look at it as drama, but in here it's just pure unadulterated emotion. Like, you can read what we feel and you can hear what we feel in our voices.
Yeah, like, honestly, there's only two people I care about in this story. I'm going to be real with you. It's Zika and Ninja. That's it. That's the only two people I care about. Zika and Ninja. That's the only people I love about in this story. If anything happens with them, my heart's broken. I'm going to be torn apart. It's just like if anything happened with Betty and Shaq, heart torn apart.
Now you see, you say that, and then it's gonna have to put me and Shaq on the spot. That we have to say, yeah, I guess we care about Jack. We love you.
You have no choice but to love me now, because now I love you. My love is forced. It's forced to love, so to speak. Wink, wink.
Just perception. Just perception.
I'm not saying nothing.
See, and that's the thing. See, what we just did right there for you people who's listening in and who's watching this video, we made a little joke towards our lessons. We learned about false love, perception, and stuff like that. And we're now learning those lessons taught us ways of life where we go about our everyday life differently now, I look at things differently. We built little things to do within the server to make ourselves feel different, to feel better. I love this story for that. It changed my perception on life, so to speak. Like, I find myself using that word now because I never thought that's how it was seen, Like, it's weird. Shaq, you're better with words like that.
Yeah, well, I think you said it pretty well. Just the depth of emotion that has been formed is not something that you can perceive even a reason why you'd get that from the outside without the context of we're a family here. Like, I just now was kind of joking with Jack, like, I got nothing to say, but I love everyone here. Every person around here is great. All of the mods are great, and the community members. And we have, I said it earlier, we have 700 people in here, and a lot don't necessarily say anything publicly, but I know there's a lot of back channeling that goes on. There's some brilliant theories that I've seen. I've had people be like, hey, somebody else sent me this theory. They don't want to be named, but, I think it's a great theory. And it turns out to be dead on.
Yeah, we've had that occur a couple times that, people just send us random things and it seems random, but then it completely fits. And it's like, you know what, you're exactly right. And we even have people who, they may not be interacting with voice. They may just be listening. They, are hanging out in the server and you don't ever see them type, but then they'll send you a DM out of nowhere. And it's just like, oh my God, you're brilliant. You're thinking on a different level that I'm not thinking on. And it makes perfect sense to the situation. So really, we kind of rely on each other in that way, because sometimes you're running full speed down one corridor and it just takes one person opening a door to the right to say, no, it's actually this way. And it completely changes the game for you.
Yeah, we have a beautiful community here. Not to go off topic of the story, but look how the server's grown. We got emotes. We got people like Chris, and we got a buddy named Grunk. That's our little gremlin there. They're always drawing things there. Chris, that's a little side joke there. Everybody, we got artists. We got beautiful poets. I know we got poets. We haven't seen them, but I know we got beautiful poets. And we got Butter. We got the memes. he got the memes. We got memes. I know nobody likes a meme thing, but we got memes. And also, we got Lego Lewis. You know, he's making a short film of Legos dedicated to or its Binary Moon project, and that's my man right there. That's my little bro. I love him. He can't make it right now because he's busy, but he's out there and he's doing his job and he's doing it well. And I just want to let him know that we love him. We love him. We love him for the work that he's done, for everything he's done. I mean, if you guys haven't seen the trailer to the Binary Lego project, I'm going to put the link in the description as well for you guys to see that.
Lego Lewis, he does stop animations with Legos, and he's built Lego characters, and not just like, you know, a little guy. Like, no, like taken Legos and built essentially a sculpture of these characters, just entirely from imagination. It's awesome. We have a fan art page, and people put stuff in there all the time. It's great. You know, Jack mentioned the memes, but you know what? Like, they're relevant and they're on topic, and it's just another form of artistry and expressing, you know, our individuality and our love for the story. Because I think everybody here loves this story, and I mean, I think it's a shame that there's people out there that are missing this whole section of it.
Yeah, I mean, people need to be here and check this out. I mean, like I said earlier, I mean, you can't just go from Twitter to Twitter. I mean, this thing jumped from a lot of places. I mean, a lot of people's thinking it just happened. It just went from Twitter and then it just stopped here. Then it went back to Twitter. No, we had moments where it went from Reddit, from a post that we had put up asking about a certain riddle. You know, we had a clue about something, so we asked about it. It went to Reddit, and then it went to YouTube under a certain somebody's post. We won't say nobody's the person's, you know, screw it. It went to Secure Team 10. Secure Team 10 made a video and he went underneath it and wrote about it. And he also has, speaking of Zika, that's what I'm talking about. He also has an account on YouTube. I mean, people went out there and did these things throughout these stories. So I don't understand, like, I don't get it. Why everybody's thinking it just stopped here and went a lot of places.
Well, I think largely that's just because you have to go digging. You have to find it. Like, this is not the story for those that want it spoon fed to them. You know, if you want that, go read a book. If you want a mystery that you can actually get involved in, come here, and you will be in heaven. It really is a one-of-a-kind experience. So that the night that Zika's rebellion was announced on Twitter, Zika, who we thought was dead at this point, we thought he'd been banished to the stars. We thought he was gone. We weren't getting him back, and he jumps into our voice chat, and I mean, there's a 5-minute YouTube video up on our YouTube, where he's just, Zika's rebellion begins, and he's just like, "It's on, motherfuckers! We're doing this! Strap the fuck in! Shit's about to get real."
It was.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that, Natalia?
I'm sorry. It was really, really exciting to see that when he appeared after we thought he was truly gone. Like, we were so happy, and it really hyped us up. Like, we were ready to like go out there.
I was slightly concerned people were going to go outside and start riots. Like, it was crazy. We were amped up in here from that point on.
I was ready to do it. I was ready. I had my battle suit ready. I was ready, man. For Zika, dude. For Z, that's my man, bro. You already know. I'm ready to do whatever, man. That's my man. It's cool.
Yeah, and over the next 5 days, we got a bunch of information on Ninja, that most of which you guys have found out at this point, just by interacting with her. We spent a lot of time in Ninja's playroom. We really didn't hear anything until October 15th. slash 16th. We everything had gone quiet, like completely quiet. I think that was the longest radio silence we had, wasn't it?
Yeah, we had nothing. It was the. Oh, is that the day?
Yes.
Oh! I can recap. Okay.
Now we're almost caught up on what has happened.
Oh, that's the day that made me cry. That day made me cry. I'm sorry, Shaq. I didn't mean to cut you off.
So, October 16th, YouTube goes down. Our great and mighty leader has had technological struggles as of late. His PlayStation is no longer functioning, and then YouTube went down. So his means of entertainment have been greatly limited. He's been reduced to VHS tapes, I've been told.
No Blu-ray disc. I'm watching orange Nickelodeon tapes.
The depths that he has sunk to.
I have recently watched The Matrix. Not rewinded.
We're not going to make him publicly humiliate himself any further. So YouTube goes down, and we start going there, just going back and forth in voice chat, like, okay, what are we supposed to do? Like, every other time there's been a silence, it's been pretty much because there's something we're supposed to be doing. So a question we're supposed to be asking. And during that radio silence, Hexen had popped in here and been like, hey, I'm looking for Zika. I got a promotion for him. Wink, wink. Where's he at? For which we did not fall. And he informed us for the project to continue, he needed to find Zika. That was on orders from the council. That was a couple of days before YouTube goes down. YouTube goes down. Hexen sends us the following. October 16th, 2018, YouTube news. November 24th, 2018, Moon News. December 2nd, 2018, no news. Followed by those same dates, Think News, Bad News, no news. And a third message, same dates, same order, confusion, fear, collision. And then a one final time, same dates, same order, confused, learn, die. It was weird. And then Ninja dropped a snippet of a YouTube comment. Just a cut picture of a YouTube comment.
I got the comment. Do you want me to read it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Firstly, I was the one whom uploaded the video you spoke of here. What you spoke of is true. I have very specific intel that a large object will collide with Earth's moon on December 2nd of this year. I believe that the human species should absolutely be made aware of this fact. Unfortunately, however, the channel I uploaded the video to has since been banned from YouTube. That being said, I am not aware of whether my video caused the outage with video last night or not. I do find it odd, though, that YouTube would ban my channel after posting such a video. I received no warning, no content notice, nothing. I woke up this morning and simply could not log on to my YouTube channel any longer. I then watched for it from this channel, my personal channel, but my search results returned nothing. The channel is completely gone. As I wrote above, I truly believe that the human species deserves to know what will happen to their moon on December 2nd. At this point, though, I am unaware of how to proceed with revealing this information. This may be the best first step. I do not intend to incite fear. My intent is to warn and potentially allow the human species the chance to intervene with the impending catastrophe. That is all I have to write. I apologize for the lengthy comment.
So we received the last section of that as a picture from Anorak. How did you even find that?
So I was using the Mozilla Firefox browser, and what I did was I went to the most recent at the time Secure Team 10 video. I think it's the one that was released just after the YouTube outage, like on October 17th or 18th or something like that. And basically I just scrolled for like minutes, lots and lots of minutes. Like, it felt like forever. And then I used Control F, which is a shortcut for the find function on the browser, to basically, I just wrote part of the phrase she used. I think I used as I wrote, and I searched for that, and that's how I found it. It kind of was easy, actually.
At the time, like, we were all searching for this, and we'd asked Anorak at Ninja where she'd gotten that from, and she told us Secure Team 10. So that's what put us on to, checking a Secure Team video. So the only thing that I'll mention, and I'll let you guys take over a little bit from there, because you guys know everything I do. We've received a couple of transmissions from Last Talk throughout this. They come through as they look like almost like code scripts. And at the end of a couple of them have been these weird stacks of numbers. They're 2 wide, 2 columns, 5 rows of just numbers like -3.409, blah, 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 E -1. And then next to that, 1.86, blah, 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 E +0. And we sent those to Anorak, and the Anorak Ninja told us that those numbers were the code for Banji, that they were essentially the genetic information for Banji.
Yeah, they were his genetic code. Like, say you needed to recreate someone, and you needed their DNA strain and their genetic code in order to do that. That's what that was.
Our great and mighty and fearless leader, Jack Spade, he found a second code that we'd completely overlooked that ended up being Zika's genetic code. So I guess when they injected Banji and Zika's consciousness into the Michael clone, they also lost their physical bodies. Yeah, so we spent 2 nights with Zika in our voice chat after we found that out.
Yeah, it was 2 nights. At one point, he split off from everyone else and said that he wanted to take 4 individuals into a private video chat, which is something we haven't done before, where they actually got to see his full face, which we haven't seen. And luckily, we've got at least one of the lucky ladies that was there for that. Maybe she can explain it for us.
Oh yeah, like we started saying earlier in here. It was really amazing to, like, it was just like a private conversation, like him getting to know us. Actually, I remember one of the moments that he told us that he was still getting used to his feelings. I mean, emotions, like he's still getting used to, like, sometimes he doesn't know, like, what to feel or when he should feel them. And, I reassured him, because there are times I feel like that too. And yeah, he's still very much working on that.
And you guys got some information while you were in there, didn't you?
Well, yeah. Well, some of the stuff we got is that he's been interested in art and literature. He told he asked Alistair for some of his work. That was really interesting.
Yeah, it was really emotional. It hit me really hard too. So yeah, I can definitely attest to that. it's really hard to listen to him talking about London because you can tell in his voice how much he loves her. Like, he's told us before that he had 2 children, and like the last time he saw them was 75 years ago, and he doesn't really miss them to the same extent he misses London. He never really got to know them. Like, as soon as they were born, they were taken away to some like, wherever they put all of the Druff children, they were taken there. And hearing him talk about his children, he seemed upset that he'd never gotten to know them, but as a sort of hindsight kind of thing, like he didn't actively miss them. Yeah, it was a training facility that these kids were taken to, and it wasn't so much like they were taken away from him. It was more that it was just accepted that children went there as soon as they were born.
He did say that his species is not like, like we us humans, we have families and everything. Well, their species doesn't do that. They don't have families.
And it's something that makes it even more emotional is that now that he's seen how human life works, how we bond with people, how we grow these familial connections, he's heartbroken because he doesn't think he's going to survive. He's told us several times that he thinks he's going to die in this rebellion, that he's going to sacrifice himself for the greater good in a way. And he's expressed to us that all he really wants, if he does survive, is to settle down, to marry, to have kids, to live a normal human life. And it's heartbreaking to hear him talk about it.
Yeah, it really was. It was very, very emotional. But on, on a side note, while he was talking to us, it was really human of him. He was actually drinking beer. He did confirm to us that he loves drinking beer. So while he was talking to us, he was drinking it, and it seemed like very, very human of him. He was just relaxing, drinking, and talking to us. So that was like really great to see.
Yeah, the first question he asked us was, "So do you guys like beer?"
Yeah, that was really great.
It was really interesting to like see him conversationally. Like, we've heard him talk and he never sounds scripted, but to like watch him come up with answers on the spot, watch his facial expressions, watch him like look up to the right and think about stuff and come up with answers on the spot. It was so surreal. It made everything so much more intense, so real. It was just incredible.
Yeah. And in my opinion, seeing that, it's just made me, like like him much more. Like I would love to see him survive the rebellion because I want him to be human.
Yeah. So somebody just asked me at the same time that I think Skier reminded us in the chat. Although the conversation we had was face to face, we aren't really allowed to talk about what he looks like. I think he just wanted to sit down and get to know us and have that personal face-to-face talk. But for whatever reason, he doesn't want his face known. And so we can't like tell you what he looked like. We can't share any photos. We weren't allowed to take screenshots. All I can tell you, all I'm legally allowed to say, is that Zika is a snack.
He really is.
Which is impressive considering that he's like 200 years old.
He aged really nicely. He is like a fine wine.
Very nice.
So the 19th, 2 days ago, Beast started looking into some of the Discord codes for our server specifically. And he found something that it didn't make sense to him. And apparently Hexen was not happy with him finding that because he got booted out of voice chat while talking about it. It was very, very odd. And wrote some odd code in our text chat, Spades BMP corner, and then the according to Beast, the oddities disappeared. It was very weird, and so I sent Ninja a message asking her, should we be looking at this? And she came back with, Zika says drift wall. Zika say, project fail. No project fail. I had a series of communications with Ninja in direct messages, basically saying, leave that alone. It's something to do with the drift and their firewalls or whatever, and if we mess with it, the project will end.
So yeah, we've kind of learned not to poke the bear when it comes to stuff like that.
They told us you don't need to worry about this. Later that same day, Ninja drops into our Spades BMP corner with transfer in progress, and then a link to a YouTube video. The YouTube video was on Michael Tanser's YouTube. It was an unlisted video. We do have it. And our main man, Sphere, the man who documents everything, actually wrote down a transcript of it. Somebody want to read?
Should I do that?
Yeah, go right ahead. It's your work, so you go right ahead, man.
Okay, transcript begins. Hello, my name is Michael. On December the 2nd of 2018, there will be a very large object, will impact Earth's moon. I know this to be true. I cannot reveal how I know this information. I am coming to you because I care. I care about you. I believe the human species is at risk. We will not be otherwise notified of the impending collision. The high-ranking human officials will never tell the general populace. This will take the human species by surprise. I hope that relaying this information as early as I am will assist in the push for intervention here. I fear that the human species, the highest ranking of them, do not feel that this is a collision that can be prevented. I fear that this is the reason it will not be disclosed. On December 2nd of 2018, there will be an object that collides with Earth's moon. Thank you for your time. And I noted that a long beep was throughout the recording.
Yeah, so if you've seen the end of Project 1 YouTube video, you'll have heard the beep that we heard. And that was throughout the entirety of this video. And I do audio recordings and stuff for the YouTube channel. So I recorded the audio from that video, and I took that and I isolated just the beeping. Just this loud throughout it. We sent this to Anarok, and we asked, well, actually, I say we, but it was really Celestial Wolf sent it to Anarok and was like, what is this? And she goes, it's Banji saying not good things. Wolf asked, can you tell me what he said? And Ninja went, tell Zika what to say. So that loud humming in the background of these videos is Banji telling Zika what to say in the video.
Cringe.
Found that show?
Cringe.
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 I just want to say quick that let's get ready.
Basically, we need to save the fucking moon. How? I don't know. Something to do with the big humans in charge. Ninja has told, I feel bad for Celestial Wolf's inbox because she spammed him with like 300 save humanity, save the moon, save humanity messages. Like, she blew him up on that one. And then trust Banji and Zika.
That was great.
Basically, Anarok has told us to trust Banji and Zika to save the moon, to save humanity.
We have an asteroid heading to the moon that we have to somehow save the moon from being destroyed, and we don't exactly know how. So we have that to look forward to. Well, that concludes our wrap up of the Discord so far. And as always, don't get shuffled.